Right, that's a picture of Colson's Hill outside Retco's. We're at 640 shutter speed, ISO 160. It's on a bright day, white balance. 1080p. She's a 400mm lens on a GH2, which makes it 800mm plus 2.6 tele conversion. 2100 is the focal. 2100mm is, if you like, the lens on this, and we're just focusing up the fence picnic area up there. In the background is the water tower at Colson's Hill. If we just go to the left, you'll see one of the towers there for the cell phone tower and the tree next to it. So that's at 32 f-stop. We could have got another one actually, and yeah, it's as pretty good as it gets, I suppose. We could possibly get something in the foreground a little bit here. There's a bit of fence line. If you jump the fence and go down there, some fences. I'll just see if I can get a bit more focus on that. No, it's out at infinity at the moment, and that's why we've got the, so it comes down to about there. And then if we zoom in on that sign, edge of the building, we come in a little bit further, and then we've got the emu, which is part of the vets, which is very in focus. And then before that, so we've got Repco's here, and we can zoom in on what that looks like, one of the posts, and then just next to that post is a yellow post. So then we'll just put that into focus, and we'll just put that on there. So it's a yellow post outside Repco's. Now, what we're looking at now is the same as before. So I'll just run through it. 400mm lens times 2.6 times the 2 factor, because it's on a GH2, and we have ISO 160, so 640 frames per second on shutter priority. High bit rate. We've also got a 1080p 60i that we're videoing at. And if we wanted to go into the further focus in on that, so effectively it's a 2000, what do they call it, a 2100mm telescopic lens. So we've got a little bit more to go. We want to zoom in there, it gets nice and sharp, and then if we go into the leaves and stuff in the gutter, we've got a bit of focusing to do there. We can come further down than that, and if we just keep that, that's the white line in the middle of the road, which is pretty much the extent of the focus, coming across from the light line into the middle of the road. That's a white line in the middle. Sorry, that line there was the side of the road, so that's the middle of the road, white line there. And then if we come back further than that, we're getting to the near side. So if we just come over here, we'll come back to a curb, and that's shadow. So if I wanted to lighten that up, I'll just change the that's at 200, that's at 160, so that's at 125 frames per second now, shutter, and that is bringing us over to the edge of the road, and then we're starting to get into the yellow line on the edge of the road. So that's what that looks like at a 2000, and then we're just a little bit further over, we get into the gutter edge. So that's the gutter edge and the pine cone needles, and some more pine cones, and you can see chips on the edge of the gutter. So that's as maximum as we can go there. So if I just lock that off, there you go. So that's at 120 frames a second, and that's at the gutter side of things. Brilliant, I enjoyed doing that.